Right, welcome back guys to another video, and today I've got something completely different to what we've got on our channel, and it's a diesel. But as you can see behind me, it's a stunning diesel. It's a 435d xDrive 2017, I think it is, yeah, 2017. And honestly, for a diesel, this thing shifts. It's a completely standard car with regards to performance. Got given the opportunity, so I thought, yeah, why not? It's a beautiful car. We'll go for a little walk around the car and then we'll go for a drive. And subscribe to our YouTube channel, Performance Lifestyles. We've got plenty of performance car reviews on there and plenty of content to come. Check us out on Instagram and Facebook as well. Instagram's performance_lifestyles and Facebook is performance lifestyles. So, and if you'd like your car featured on our channel, drop us an email on any one of our social media accounts or pflifestyle@hotmail.com and we'll be more than happy to accommodate. But for today, we'll catch you outside this 4 Series. Right, so here it is. 435d xDrive Gran Coupe. So Gran Coupe it means it's a coupe style body, but it's got 4 doors, so a bit more practical for daily sort of use, family sort of usage or anything. And it's finished off in BMW's most probably popular colour. It's Estral Blue. It's got a few little aesthetic modifications on the outside, as you can see. It's got M4 competition style wheels. I think they were from CM wheels, so they're a very good wheel. They're not genuine obviously, but replicas, and they are actually a wicked wheel. M Performance sticker on the side skirt, again M4 comp style wheels, and they are a staggered fitment if I'm right in thinking. Yeah, 265s on the back, and I think there are 225s on the front. Yeah, 235, sorry, on the front. M Performance brakes, so they're the massive brake calipers, and I think, and I'm fairly confident to say, they are the same brakes as you get on the M3s and M4s. So you got your 2-pot piston on the back, 4 pots on the front. And I mean, just look at this thing. This thing looks, I think it looks bloody very good. I think it looks very, very good. I'm not much of a diesel fan, but honestly, when this thing popped up, I was like, yeah. Got offered to video this car, and I thought, yeah, because I've had a couple of 535Ds in the past and remapped and stuff, and they are fast cars. So as standard, this thing is 315 odd brake horsepower with 465 pounds-foot of torque, which in anybody's, any car person knows that is quite a big sort of a number. They are big power figures, and once these are remapped as well, they can produce a lot more. And they're very quick. Torque is the biggest thing with these cars. 600 pound-feet of torque, and I think a standard, this is what, 465, which is probably about over 600 Newton meters of torque. So the other little mods on this car, it's got a carbon fiber rear spoiler. It looks quite smart, to be fair. Otherwise, without the spoiler, I think they look a bit naked on the back end. Black diffuser on the back. I believe that might be an OEM sort of thing. It's a standard. And just in case, they all come with a Gran Coupe thing, decal on there, like a sticker on there. Again, these sort of little styling touches that they've got going here, like the M Performance sticker badge there, the actual gloss black sort of vent on the wing. They look quite smart. It sets it off quite nicely, to be fair. It sets it off very nicely. LED headlights, LED DRLs. They got the odds. They're blinking away on here, but yeah, I quite like the way they look. Gloss black kidney grills, which is another common M-Power sort of addition that most BMWs do have. I think these cars do generally have a very good sort of styling to them, very good shape to them. They're, like I mentioned, they're a very low sort of car, purely because they're still based on a coupe. So all the actual, all the lines and stuff and everything on the side here, it is a fairly lowish sort of car. When you compare it to a 5 Series, it looks very low, but the thing is, these cars are very, very long. I mean, just look at the length on that. It's quite a big car, to be fair. So manoeuvring it around in tight parking spaces is a bit of a mission, but on the whole of it, I think these cars are great. They're a very good car. They're a diesel, practical, economical, can achieve apparently 50 miles to the gallon, which if you ask me, for a car with this sort of power and these sort of performance figures, that's fantastic. So onto the inside of this car then. It's a beautiful cockpit. Honestly, the interior on these cars is very, very good. It's got full heated leather seats, black leather with the Estro blue, I think complements it nicely. Memory seats. And the dashboard on these things is, I know the newer ones have, it's all like a digital display here. It's not like a virtual cockpit, but all these dials are digital. On these, they're analog with the digital thing at the bottom on both of them. And I think it lights up as when you first start it up 435D. And then it's also the new style gear knob, which I say new style, it was new probably a couple of years ago. And then you got your sport, which you could change on, put it in sports plus. It's kind of like limits the traction to a very small amount, and then sport, comfort, eco, pro, and then it's also got stop start, which I've turned off. It was starting to bug me, just sort of like every time you come to a standstill it was just turning off. And obviously you got usual heaters, heated seats, air conditioning, all your climate control buttons here, radio stations or CD changer or something they must refer to these things here. And the other thing is the menu here. I think it's a snazzy looking sort of thing. You could do a lot of things off here, to be fair. They're very, very technical and very up to date on these sort of cars. I mean, this is what, a 3-4 year old car. So when you put this thing into Sports Plus mode here, it switches the traction, limits the traction as I mentioned before, but you've also got an option of these sports displays. So the moment you rev it up a little bit, even though it sounds like a tractor, but it just shows you how much sort of power and torque that you're using. So the torque figures do go to 640 and the power 320. It's a 5-seater as well in the back, which for some reason I was actually thinking the Gran Coupe is a 4-seaters, but they're not. They're a 5-seater. It's got a lap belt in the middle. Well, a proper seat belt actually. It's not even a lap belt, it's a proper seat belt. Isofix in the back. Again, which if you're using it as a family car, it's ideal. It's very, very practical. And this actual car also comes with a Harman Kardon sound system upgrade. Automatic headlights, which I've got. Auto lights. Flappy paddles on the steering wheel. So this is obviously an automatic, as you've seen on the gear with the gear stick. And you could change, to be fair, the actual settings on them. So when you're in Sports Plus, the gear change is quite quick, to be fair, for a diesel car. You generally don't expect it. You think it'll be a bit sluggish and a bit slow, but no, it's actually quite a quick gear change. And this car is, honestly, it is fast. If you've never driven a diesel of this sort of nature before, you'd actually look at it and you'd think, how fast can this thing actually be? But these things are quick enough to shock a lot of fast cars, a lot of hot hatches and performance cars. The only thing obviously you don't get is the noise, which is, in my eyes, this is one of the things that I'm not a big fan of these fast diesels, purely because I think half of the actual fun is the noise, and I'm sure you'd probably agree. You want something that sounds good as well. I know when you take the DPF off these and you can get them remapped and stuff, it does make them obviously MOT failures, but they do sound a little bit better. But I think some of them sound a bit too ridiculous. I think it's just, they need to be kept as they are, DPF in place. And a remap on these is all you really need. And honestly, these things are fast cars. It's like a little rocket. Plenty of boot space and plenty of space inside the car. I'll show you under the bonnet. So if I'm right in thinking, these are actually 3-litre twin turbo engines. And as mentioned, they're 300, some stats actually say 308, some say 316, but they're that sort of power sort of figure. I mean, there's the boot on it. You could fit plenty of bodies in there if that's your sort of thing, or plenty of space for pushchair and sort of shopping. It's got an electric boot as well. There you go. There's another thing I'm not quite used to. Right, so what we'll do is we'll go for a little drive, just a quick little drive, just to give you guys a feel of what this actually feels like when you're driving it about normal or booting it around. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. And as I previously mentioned, guys, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Performance Lifestyles. Check us out on Instagram and Facebook as well, and help us grow. We've been around for 6 months or so. We've got plenty of content uploaded on our channel already, and so do check that out. There's plenty of videos on there, RS3s and Nissan GTRs and M-Power cars and stuff. So yeah, do check them out. And as mentioned again, if you'd like your car featured on our channel, drop us an email, pflifestyle@hotmail.com, or even just drop us a message on any one of our social media accounts, and we'll be more than happy to accommodate. You know, we'll come to some sort of an arrangement, and yeah, more than happy to get your car on the channel. What we'll do is then we'll catch you on the drive, folks. So then the drive on this 435 is as you'd expect from any diesel BMW. It's quiet, obviously inside the car, refined. It's got everything that you could possibly want on a performance luxury, should I say, BMW German car. So, and the whole seating position is very good. The steering wheel I find is a bit on the larger side, because it's still got them performance characteristics, and it is a performance diesel car in essence. So you'd expect, I would have thought the steering wheel would have been a bit smaller, but I'm sure you could buy the aftermarket, you know, M Performance style steering wheels or M Performance steering wheel itself. But other than that, I think the whole layout is very good. You know, the seating is very good. Seats 3 people in the back, 2 big grown people, and I think 1 slightly smaller one. I'm sure you'd fit in there perfectly fine. And then the moment you put into Sports Plus, this is where your traction control, it tells you as well, dynamic traction control activated. So, and I'm sure that just lets you know that your actual traction control has been kind of like restricted. So you're using only a little bit of traction, and the rest of it is just on yourselves. No more driver aids apart from obviously ABS and stuff. But no, honestly, this thing is, if you've never experienced anything diesel and fast, they will surprise you, because these cars are, realistically, they are, like I said, it's a performance diesel car, and they're quick, very quick. These cars do shock a lot of people. You'd naturally just pull up next to something like this. I mean, this one's debadged. It's got no, 435 or xDrive badges on the back. So you'd naturally pull up next to it in a semi sort of, performance-ish car, and you'd think, yeah, I'm gonna have this guy today. But the amount of torque these cars produce, and obviously the BHP figures, these people will be in for a massive surprise. And the best thing about these cars is it's 4-wheel drive. It's the xDrive version. So the way it delivers the power is just great, as long as you've got a decent set of tyres on there. And again, I think Pilot 4S's are usually what most people recommend, and I think personally from experience they're a very good tyre. And they put the power down perfect. They quite literally just grip and go. Whereas, if you're in a rear wheel drive, any sort of conditions other than dry, you do get a lot of back end sort of tail happy sort of a feeling. But with these, you don't get any of that. It is quite literally, they just grip and go. These cars are very much so a sleeper sort of car. But again, you can carry your family, you could carry people, you carry luggage, you could carry anything that you'd want to carry in one of these things, and they're a very, very refined, comfortable car. And the styling on the outside, they're a very good looking car, I think. They're a very, very good looking car. The Gran Coupe was always something I was never a big fan of initially when they first come out, because I think they ruined the shape of the coupe. But the more you see them, the more you see them around, you kind of like look at them and you think, actually, it's not a bad sort of design. It's one of them, I think you just get used to it. It's like when I mentioned on one of the previous videos, the Subaru Imprezas went from being a saloon to a hatchback. A lot of people kind of like kicked off a fuss, but then eventually they did come back and thought, oh, actually, they're not too bad. It's just the element of change, I think. It's kind of like hard to digest at first, but you do get used to it. And that's speaking from experiences. So if we put it into, this is Sports Plus mode now. I'm telling you, just from that, you will leave a lot of cars standing. Oh, just killed a squirrel. So you will leave a lot of cars standing. Seriously. These cars are very, very fast. And again, like I mentioned, the economy figures on these cars as well. BMW actually say this car will do over 50 miles to the gallon. And I mean, if you're driving it a bit heavy-footed, then yeah, you're not going to achieve that. But if you're driving normal, just pot around them in automatic mode, they will get you 50 mpg. What more could you really ask for? The one letdown on these cars, I think, is, as mentioned before, is the noise. And as like that Tesla video as well, that Tesla was like ballistically fast. But, oh, that's a nice Lotus. That's a beauty. But the noise element, I believe, is half the fun in a performance car. So when you've got, you know, a fast car, you want it to sound good as well. But with the Tesla, it was like you got no noise at all. But with this, it sounds like a tractor. A very nice looking tractor, mind you, but it's still a tractor. But again, if you're after economy, power, looks, German reliability, build quality, then I think these cars, the 435d xDrive, is a perfect sort of car. You could always obviously choose the 5 Series as well, but they're a slightly bigger car and a bit more business sort of look to them. But whereas the 435's got that sporty look, and it's got power figures like, oh, this is awesome. This is very quick. You won't get no downshift burbles and gargles and barks, not from one of these, but I suppose you don't really expect it, so it's not the end of the world. With this having the 20-inch M4 competition style wheels on the car and low profile tyres, you'd imagine it would be quite a harsh sort of ride, especially in Sports Plus. But it's not. I don't believe this car's got the option of the adaptive suspension. Now, with the adaptive suspension, I believe they do make the suspension a lot firmer and harder in Sports Plus. But this is actually very comfortable, very smooth. You hit a pothole, you kind of like know about it a little bit, but that is about it. They do generally, as with all BMWs and any car, should I say, with low profile tyres, you get the common fault of alloy wheels cracking. So you just have to be careful of, if you've hit a pothole and you've kind of like know about it, just kind of like stop and check. Oh, A45 AMG. Seems to be a few cars floating around today. But they're actually a very refined car, very smooth car, very comfortable car. Comfort mode, Sports Plus mode, sports mode, they're any mode you drive them in, they're a good car. They're a very good car. So again, with these sports displays that they've got on the actual screen here, I think they're quite good. They're quite good. As soon as you kind of like now I'm driving it in normal. I'm in sports mode, and foot's not flooring it, not booting it or nothing, but it's showing me I'm using 80 brake horsepower and 300 Newton meters of torque. So if we liven that up a little bit, at St. George's Park, apparently I use 640 Newton meters of torque and 250 odd brake horsepower. So this car's got more potential. I think it's just a good snazzy little feature to have, to be fair. It's a bit of a gimmick, because when are you ever actually really going to look at it? Probably never, but it's just something good to have there. If we drive it in manual mode, like I said, the gear change, you don't expect it to be, I mean, this is an 8-speed gearbox as well. 8-speed gearbox, I didn't even realise up until now. That's madness. I thought 7 speeds were, yeah, quite a good sort of thing, but 8-speed, not bad, not bad. I'm sure by now there's probably a 9-speed, 10-speed out on the market somewhere as well, but yeah, I'm quite impressed by this car in general as a whole. And like I mentioned, I'm not a big diesel car fan when it comes to performance sort of cars, but I think this car is a very good sort of compromise, very good medium, shall we say. You've got all the benefits of a fast performance car, and you've got all the benefits of a practical, comfortable, you know, economical, most importantly, car. Good looking car as well. It does feel very planted. The grip on this thing is, it's quite good. And apparently I used about 480 newton meters there. Good going, good going. It's like now these lanes are quite narrow, but driving through them, you don't feel like you need to watch where the corners of your car are. It's certain cars that you do, that when they're just way too big. I've driven like the 7 Series BMWs and stuff, and the S-Class Mercs and stuff, and they are quite literally, you just always popping your head up over the top. And it's like the Nissan GTR as well, that was the same thing. They're a very, very big car, but no, this is actually quite a decent sort of size. It's a bigger than normal car, but it's quite a decent size. If you genuinely are after a fast car, you don't want all the big running costs of a petrol performance car, get yourselves one of these, any of the 3.5 diesel ranges of the BMWs. You get the 335, 535, 435. They are an impressively quick, yet practical and economical car. So you get best of both worlds. Honestly, this thing is very, very good. And on top of it all, obviously, you get a very good looking car. Some cars don't look all that good, especially smaller wheels and stuff, but the way this car sits, it's nice. I know it's got a few modifications on it. Like I mentioned, the 20-inch M4 Comp style wheels. It's on actually AC Schnitzer lowering springs as well. So it's not slammed, but it's got a decent set of springs on there. Again, you could buy iBags, you could buy probably many other manufacturers out there, lowering springs, and they'd still look the same. But it's quite an impressive sort of car. So yeah, if you're after a diesel, economical, practical, reliable, fast car, get yourselves any one of these 4 Series, 3 Series, 5 Series, 5Ds, because you won't be disappointed. And as mentioned, BMW do state they'll do 50 miles to the gallon. This video, I don't think I've achieved anything near the 50 miles to the gallon mark, but they will get that sort of a figure if you kind of like don't work them hard enough. So you're onto a win-win situation here. So then, I'm going to conclude this video here. I hope you've enjoyed the video. It was just a quick little video again of this 435d xDrive, and like I mentioned, I am quite impressed with this car. I am quite impressed by this car. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Performance Lifestyles. Check us out on Instagram, performance_lifestyles, and we're on Facebook as well, Performance Lifestyles. We've got plenty of performance car reviews up on our channel already, and we've got plenty of content to come. So check us out, help us grow. And as per usual, guys, stay safe, and we will catch you on the next video.